your camera on. So what we will do today, we will be talking about Playful Parenting Initiative in action. So we will share some successful stories and resources from around Europe. As you had the chance to see in the agenda that was shared with you, we invited today 3 ISSA members to share their story about playful parenting and engagement with parents through play, be that resources, programs, or other activities. And we will, at the second part of the event, learn more about their stories and successes. So this learning exchange of ISSA Network was enabled by a partnership between UNICEF and LEGO, in which ISSA as a regional network also participates. And we are very happy to have this opportunity to host you all today. So as you see, we start with sort of an introduction where I'm trying to walk you through the agenda and all other logistics of the event. So we will kick off our meeting with Ivana Mihic from University of Novi Sad from Serbia. She will be giving us a bit of an overview about the implementation of Playful Parenting pilot in Serbia that was done through UNICEF Serbia in partnership with partners like Harmonia from Novi Sad, and she will guide us through a story of playful parenting when it comes to home visiting. Later, we will share the full story with you because we already prepared also an article with videos. Unfortunately, Ivana was not able to join us live today, but we have her recording, and hopefully she will inspire you with her overview. Then, as I mentioned, we will have a member sharing session when we will have Olena from Ukrainian Step by Step Foundation talking about We Are Super Parents, about the healing power of play. And then we will have Dasha from Slovenia, from Mala Ulica, talking about playful parenting, the forest trails and forest little thoughts. And then we will have Rosi from Bulgaria, from Worldwide Foundation for Vulnerable Children, talking about element of play at home activities manual. And of course, with this presentation, we'll also extend you an invitation to the pre-conference event that will take place during the ISSA conference in Sofia, but this will come later. And then, of course, all of you that are here, we also want to engage with all of you and hear from all of you. What are your thoughts on playful parenting and any discussions, topics, themes, resources, experience you might have in this field, so that you can share it with us. And then we will wrap up the meeting. And I think if we'll be efficient and stick to the agenda, and if I won't be speaking that much as I'm speaking now, we might end on time. Okay, so this is for later. This will be for the later stage. But before we start, we have prepared for you a Mentimeter. So Francesca or Vanessa will now share in the chat with you the link. And we have a question for you. And the question is, if we would be all thinking back to our own childhood, and if you want, we would like you to share with us any playful moment that you as a child had, be that with your parents, teacher, caregivers, or any other adults. Of course, we also don't need to go back to childhood. We can also reflect on our recent past, also as adults, if we had any playful moments where any other adults were involved while we've been learning new things as adults. And via the link, when you will press it, you'll be able to share your thoughts. So now again, I need to find the presentation so that I can run it. Here we go. So let me see if you can already access it. So if you go to the chat, you can click the link that Francesca shared with you. Or if you have a phone at your hand, I can also share the QR code with you. So you can scan the QR code on your phone. And if we think back to our own childhoods and share one playful moment that we had, either with our parents or adults. Okay, so we have one building dollhouse with my kids. Okay, so that's from a recent childhood. Baking donuts with my granddad. Helping my dad to wash the car and giggling together, getting everyone wet. Nice. Just feel free to use the link or scan the QR code. No, I'm doing sushi with my daughter, playing outside with my friends all day long. I also remember those days. I was swimming across the bay. Yeah. Oh, my father made an electric mini boat and we would go on an artificial lake at the park with him and my brother to let it cross the lake by water. Amazing. Playing badminton with my sister. Nice. Oh, females football games in the youth summer camp. Yeah, playing outside with mates. A free play. This is something that we don't see that often anymore. Helping my grandma with animals. Nice. Great. So yeah, you can still populate. So we have 15, 16 responses. Yeah. I rode a bicycle with my dad to the ocean and swam. Nice. Yeah. Well, we also in the Netherlands have ocean very close. Well, not ocean, sea, but it's not that warm for swimming. But nice. So I'll stop sharing, but you can still populate it. So we can come back to these stories at the very end. So now we have 27 people, so some might still join. But we will also, as you saw, we have the recording on, so the recording will be available after the event. So also those who were not able to join us will have the opportunity to hear the things. So not to lose more time, I'll kick off the meeting with Ivana Mihic from University of Novi Sad. Just briefly to share that Ivana is a supervisor of activities at Center for Support for Early Development and Family Relations, Harmonia. And Harmonia is actually an implementing partner of UNICEF Serbia. And she will be sharing today with us insights of playful parenting pilot in Serbia by telling the story of playful parenting. So today during the meeting, we will listen only to one part of the story, as I mentioned at the very beginning. And it's a part that talks about the story behind the playful parenting competencies. So actually how the playful parenting competencies are built. So let's listen to it. So I'll share my screen. So it's a 9 minutes long video. So here we go. And I hope you will be able to hear it.
We drew up some competencies underlying the playful parenting. And first of all, we thought that playful parent would understand the significance of opportunities for joint play between parent and the child for the child's development and for their relationships. This would mean that a playful parent would actually recognize that play enables two key aspects of developmental support. First being emotional well-being of the child and the opportunity to participate and to be involved in a warm, accepting, nurturing interaction and relationship with the parent. And second being the challenge of applying or acquiring new knowledge and new skills about the child itself and the world around him or her. It also meant that the playful parent had some sort of knowledge about why the play is so important for the child and how actually, what is the way that the child acquires knowledge about the world and how they actually practice their new skills or develop their new skills. And finally, they valued the play as enjoyable for the child. They thought of it as a meaningful experience from the child's perspective. They tried to create it as much socially interactive as possible, and to be for the child to be able to repeat it and to change it as he or she desires. They will also engage in providing safe space and for the play, time for the play, and they were willing to be playmates, basing their interaction on the interests that the child has. So supporting both nurturing care and developmental stimulation within a single interaction play. The second competence of playful parenting was that these parents are somehow able to create different stimuli for the play. They expose the child to various things happening, social interactions, various objects, smells, something the child can see or hear. But not only that, but they are able and very skillful in first noticing and then supporting child's reaction, especially those reactions that would actually communicate a child being interested or curious about some things around him or her. And finally, not only that these parents are willing to be playmates to their children, they also know how to participate in the child's play. They allow child to take the initiative. They communicate and take turns with the child, creating a bunch of serve and returns interaction during the playful event. They give a lot of names to child's activities, feelings, something that the child can observe or think about. They're expanding child's experiences, and they deepen child's curiosity about the topic by providing some new insights or their own perspective about the thing that they are exploring together. So they collaborate with the child and let them lead all the time. When we unpacked these competencies of playful parenting in such a manner, it became evident that these competencies strongly rely on some other characteristics of quality parenting, such as responsiveness or accepting the child and oneself as a parent, or knowledge about the child, so understanding child's development, but also being aware of child's personal characteristics or interests, and finally, emotional investment and bonding with the child. And we kind of creating an illustration, so sort of a diagram that provided us with some sort of a map. So how to develop playful parenting from bonding. And we somehow started to communicate it with the community that playful parent is first of all interested in their child, so feeling emotionally invested and emotionally bonded with the child, aware of their importance in child development and their influence on child's development. They have some sort of a need to understand, to support and provide opportunities for the child to feel safe, nurtured, but also to explore and learn. And thanks to this interest, this emotional investment, the parent is ready to learn about development itself, so what he can actually provide the child with sort of experiences what their child can learn at this point, what kind of skills he possesses or he currently is acquiring, things like that. And in order to do so, a parent is very keen on in observing child's behavior, so getting to know the child and learning about what the child's actually developing or somehow being interested at this moment. So they are committed to caring about their child and improving their skills to provide them with better experiences in early childhood. Based on this willingness and opportunities to observe their child and to get to know the child better, to understand the child's development better, parents develop sensitivity to child's need, the skill to understand how the child communicates his or her needs, and is also ready to respond in the ways that provide both nurturing care and learning opportunities, and to somehow stimulate different aspects of child development altogether. And finally, when this happens, parent develops some sort of responsiveness, or is willing to use this, responsive interaction to create playful opportunities for learning in everyday situation at home. So when we put it like this in a sort of a roadmap for us, it became clear that any intervention aiming to develop playful parenting must somehow include support to all these skills and encompass all these steps in developing playful interaction. And this is how we trained our professionals to work with in a single playful interaction. But something else that was very important and very challenging for us. There was another dimension. What if we had the resources to develop these competencies gradually? So to sort of put this playful parenting paradigm as a paradigm of creating quality parenting at all. And to develop these competencies gradually, allowing skills to build on each other as the parent actually develops general child caring skills. And we were very lucky in this exploration, this part of exploration, because Serbia here has 3 systems, interconnected systems, supporting families that take care of young children. It's, of course, health system, early childhood education and care system, and child protection system, and each of them has more or less available, clear components of supporting both child development, well-being of child and the parent, and parenting itself. So we could use all these 3 system professionals from all these systems of playful parenting and to gradually develop skills of playful parenting, started with emotional bonding. So then we came to the very beginning, and we know that a baby is born ready for interaction, and developing of capacities for participation and learning and communicating with the child surroundings actually starts prenatally. Therefore, to develop playful parenting competencies, this would be the place to start. So we asked ourselves, who actually meets the families during the transition to parenthood? Who are the first persons who can talk about playful interactions, responsiveness, bonding with the child, and other competencies underlying the playful parenting to the parents? And of course, it was the health system. They meet parents during the transition to parenting, and the first days, the first month, and most often during the first year of life. And within all these, among all these professionals from health system, home visitors were the primary focus of our endeavor after that. And we created a lot of different trainings and different tools and different ways of supporting home visitors to gradually develop playful parenting interactions.
So this was a short part of the story. As Ivana said in our interview when I had it with her, that this was like a curiosity-driven journey for them. So you can learn more about the story, how actually they approach the playful parenting competencies from the very beginning. So they did a study, they explored all kind of games that parents in general play with their children. And this is how they came to those set of playful parenting competencies. And as you heard, so we focus today on showcasing how the home visiting system in Serbia actually incorporated this notion of playful parenting in transforming the traditional way of home visits into being a promoter of ambassador of a play, kind of like providing an opportunity for each parent in Serbia to become so-called playful parent. You will be able to read more in on our website, and I see that Francesca already shared the link to it. So of course I will encourage you, you can open it now, but read it after the event, because now the 3 important presentations from our network are coming. So we will hear to Olena first, and then we'll go to Dasha, and then to Rossi. So in this following part, as I mentioned, our members from Ukraine, Slovenia, and Bulgaria will share their story about playful parenting. We at ISSA are grateful for their contribution to this learning exchange, and we are always proud to give you floor and inspire other peers in our network. So, Olena, we will go with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and pleased to meet you, everybody here. And thank you very much for giving us the floor to share the experience that we implementing in Ukraine. And just now it's very important for us because the situation is like this, not very good. And so we will start and try to give short story, to share our experience in the project we implemented during previous years. So do you see my screen? Yes, it's okay.
Yeah, if you can
Okay.
make it in a full screen.
Full screen.
Yeah, like the
Yes.
presenter mode. So did we see it?
Just a moment. I try to do it like this. It's okay now.
Wait, still we don't see it yet. No.
Just a moment. I will restart.
But I can also share my screen if you want.
Share. Maybe.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Now we see it.
So I need
Perfect.
to restart. So our project is We Are Super Parents, the healing power of play. And the main idea that we have like exercises with parents, but all these exercises transform us like play, like game to the children. The main project goals were strengthening the capacity of early year practitioners to provide psychosocial support to children and families in Ukraine in not a very safety situation and a lot of difficulties in mental health for the population, especially for children. Another goal is to strengthen and sustain the capacity of local government, cities, and local actors to provide responsive services to these parents and children in the community, and providing community-based formal and informal services for early learning and family support. The main 3 goals of the project. So there were 8 kindergartens were involved in the project. It's Sumy, Chernihiv, Kyiv, Vinnytsia, Cherkasy, Mirgorod, Kropyvnytsky, and Lviv. And the main challenge for us during choosing these kindergartens was the issue that it is very difficult to find kindergartens which work face-to-face, not on distance education. Because according to the safety rules, a kindergarten must have a shelter for children. And the situation is that a lot of kindergartens, they really don't have these shelters and can't use the nearest one because these shelters are not in a good condition. So a lot of kindergartens just now operate in distance format, or just partly one day or half a day, or not in usual normal format. So we try to find that kindergartens that have these shelters and we try to renovate these shelters and to create centers, especially in shelters, to keep all safety norms. Because some of the regions are western, so it's okay, more or less okay, but in central Ukraine and north, such as Sumy, Chernihiv, it's very dangerous situation, and this is photo of our centers. This is bomb shelter in Vinnytsia after renovation, so it is safe, it is good, and we equipped it with some games, with balls, with everything that is needed for children and for parents to practice these games and exercises and to feel themselves good. And the same shelter, so very, very beautiful place and relaxing one for everybody. So the service which service were provided in these centers? Almost we engaged children from 1 year, because no appears for younger children. They're too small to visit these centers, and children from 1 year to 4.5 years, it's the segment that is not covered by kindergartens because of the limited space. Usually kindergartens prefer to take children before entering school because they don't have enough space, enough places to cover all children in the region or in Gramada or somewhere. And which services we provided in this center? Services to children and parents, classes for mothers with children mostly, development groups, consultations of lawyers, medicians, speech therapists, psychologists for parents, and social service in case it is needed from the inhabitants of Gramada region. So usually, what was the procedure of everything? Usually we hold 10 meetings once a week in safe place at convenient time. It's usually like 4-5 p.m. when parents came to take their children from the kindergarten, and duration of these meetings up to 15 minutes. Most of parents, they visited like 90% of these meetings, so the indicator is very, very good. And how they work? They have an instructor who works with parents, who does provide support as a facilitator. The instructor's role is not only to provide certain information, but also to encourage parents to be expert, to share their experience, concerns, ideas, challenges, and just to talk about all problems that they have just now and how to manage to do something with these problems. General topics, we have like two parts of these meetings, topics for this meeting. So the first part was more general part, and it connected to general topics to overcoming stress and stress resilience, and how the main ideas of these meetings, of this facilitation meetings, was how war affects children and adults, why we feel what we feel. Adults should make their stress an expert when we know what is happening us and why, and can advise on our experiences. The next is Mother at Zero, building resilience to stress, how to prevent burnout, because adults need this anti-stress therapy not less than children. And sensitive sleep and problem feeling sleep for child, because this is very, as the research showed, that this is a problem how to make child asleep in this situation when it is bombing, when it is Air Force alarm. So this is an issue for parents. We cover such exercises, such topics. How can we explain to a child what is happening and whether the child about the war is appropriate? So how to explain the child what is going on and what to do in stress, how to support a child in sorrow. The child become ancient and easy scared, what to do and how to support them. And how do we listen to children so that they speak, and how do we talk to them when they hear? So it's very important. We need to choose right, proper words, and not to make the child more scared, just to try to make he or she more calm and balanced. And some specific topics were covered. A topic about the practical stress resilience skills. This is healing technique for children and adults to teach parents simply support techniques for children and peculiarities of other implementation with children, and what to do when a child behaves aggressively, an anger response algorithm. So this is we have examples of feedback from parents, and maybe to save time I will skip this. So the main idea, you can see, so the main idea, when the adult feels that somebody near him or her is more calm, they become more calm themselves, so grounded. And after this experience, they understand that this technique works very good with children too. So they can use this for their own, in their own situations. So, and what is grounding experience? Touch the surface and say how smooth, old, cold and everything the surface around the child. And touch blue, touch wood, touch white, touch plastic and different things. So in this exercise, we switch the attention of a child to another things, and it's help the child to become more calm and not pay attention to all these alarms, all these voices and everything. And another very good exercise or game for children, it's exercise only for parents, but for children this is like a game for them, is breath experience. So on these pictures, at these pictures, you can see like breath the flower or breath the balls, and it could be like while inflating them. Sorry. While inflating the ball, child spread wide his hands to both sides and inhaling deeply with the nose. and enhancing into the imaginary ball or something with pronouncing f. So it's like help through these breathing practices to balance themselves. Another, it could be, this is another feedback from mothers. So they use not a ball, but they flower candle use for this candle, and they imagine that candle is a flower and you need to smell it. So all these techniques are working very good. Belly breathing offer to choose a small toy and put on your stomachs. And when you lie on, for example, in the hall, when we use the rule of 2 walls for protection, because not on every time parents able to get to the shelter, sometimes they don't have shelter in the nearest surrounding, so they use this technique, lay in the hall between 2 walls and put a toy on stomach, and child can breathe and up the toy and do everything and switch the attention to another things. And mother's feedback, so it's very helpful, especially it could be not only at home when parents and their child, but it applicable even in the kindergarten, in case this is very quick rocket and they have like 2 minutes to go to the shelter, so sometimes they need to stay in hall between 2 walls, so they can use this with toys. And what to do when the child is angry, so not to stop it, this anger must go out, and how to control it or keep under control. It's screaming into screaming back or paper car, so it's possible. Then another thing is a dawdle, holding a felty pen or pencil in a fist. So it's possible, as you can see on the picture. And tear the paper and physical activity. Physical activity is maybe the best thing, and screaming, but not usually it's applicable in the situation, because usually it is small space in these shelters, and no possibility to do any physical activity and so on. And in total, the result of the project just showed we supported 312 adults. Because parents need permanent support. Everyday teachers met parents who bring their child to kindergartens, and teachers are those who provide support to parents on the daily basis, not only in these centers, not only during the meetings, but in the morning and in the evening. It is important to teach parents how to play with their children and explain the impact of games on mental health. Supported and educated parents feel superpower to support children. So parents need to know what to do with children, how to play, and to play right games. And we want to thank ISSA for training of trainers, materials, and ongoing mentoring support, and a lot of appreciations for financial resources to create centers for children and parents. And they are really beautiful, safety, and parents and children are happy to stay there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Olena, for sharing this story with us. Also in these difficult times when life is not that easy or that kind, or the environment is not kind to us, that we can join forces and use the knowledge and support around us to create safe spaces as much as we can, to ensure that there is no discontinuity of play, and that play also becomes in all those safety measures, but also in part of taking care of our well-being, be that as adults or children. So thank you, Olena.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Thank you. And we will make available this these resources and the PowerPoint presentation, so you will get it afterwards. So we have few questions there in the chat, but we have from Denise, what things help the mothers to build resilience in your experience?
Thank you for the question. So, from our experience, a mother need somebody to talk, to share the experience, and like psychological support. This is one thing. So they need to talk to somebody and to give some response and support. And another thing, because we have a lot of internally displaced people, so they need this support from, because they are in stress and don't know what to do. So they need this support or consultation from lawyers, sometimes from medicians and social workers, because you know the bureaucracy in all countries terrible, and in any case we need a lot of paper to be legalized in this place. So this is support, and they are in stress because in case they don't have documents, they can't start to find new job, and so on and so forth.
Okay, thank you, Olena.
And
And we'll definitely, after the next two presentations, we allocated a bit more time so that you can also ask questions. But feel free to always put your questions in the chat so that we don't forget about them. And then we'll address them when we come to the discussion point. So thank you again, Olena. So now we'll move to Slovenia and to Dasha. We'll go to Mala Ulica. To learn from their experience, their story about playful parenting through an activity that is placed in the nature. So the stage is yours.
Yeah, hello. As Alyosha said, my name is Dasha Cvitichanin. I work at Public Institute Mala Ulica, and I will present mainly today our successful playful parenting project, Forest Trails. So now I will just share with you, let me see. Okay.
Yes.
Is this the right?
Yes, we see it. Perfect.
Okay. So Mala Ulica is a family center located in Ljubljana, the capital city of Slovenia. And our main purpose is to provide a network of safe and family-friendly spaces for spending together quality free time, and to organize and implement different also support programs and activities for preschool children and their parents. And since our foundation in 2013, children's play has remained at the heart of our mission, both in family center and also in different outdoor locations, for example, in a forest, in our garden, and also on our streets. We encourage parents to play, to engage actively in their children's play, because we believe that through playful interactions, parents establish long-lasting bonds that lay foundations for a secure emotional attachment. Now, in recent years, we have strengthened and upgraded our forest pedagogy programs. And with increased needs during COVID-19 epidemic, we designed forest trails. These forest trails invite children and their parents to explore urban city forests in a more playful and educational way. But what was really important for us that they kept families with young children active and playful also during the most challenging times. Now, since then, in 4 years, we have set up more than 130 forest trails for more over 10,000 hikers. And this led to new ideas how to expand this project in a collaboration with kindergartens and schools. So since the beginning of 2022, we also organize forest walks on these forest trails for kindergarten and primary school children. Now let's dive into our forest trails. So children and parents can recognize our forest trails via wooden toadstools, these poisonous mushrooms, which are made and painted by Mansa and Boris, our colleagues who are in charge for setting up these forest trails. So at the beginning of a forest trail is recognizable forest sign. You can see it here on your right with basic information. During forest trail are these toadstools with different challenges, and at the end of the trail is a treasure chest where stamps, where different stamps with different motives are exchanged every week. So when children collect 6 different stamps, we invite them to visit us at the family center where they can get their prize for most diligent forest explorers. And usually is this prize one little stamp, but it brings them a lot of joy. These forest trails, we set up these forest trails every week on a different location, but these locations are still reachable within public transport services. They are suitable for children of all ages and are approximately 1 to 2 kilometers long. So every Friday, we post a description of this forest trail, the starting and ending point on our website and also on our social media. So parents get this information that a new forest trail has been set up and they can go out and explore it. These wooden toadstools are the most recognizable markers of our forest trails. But what is the most playful part on them are those challenges. So like funny, tricky questions, arithmetic problems. I listed some of them. You can see, for example, list the animals that begin with the 12th letter of the alphabet, or make rain with leaves, draw like a snail, jump like a frog to the next toadstool, and so on. And on the picture, you can see Boris with a girl and a boy, how they are trying to howl like a wolf. And they are really having a great time when they met this our poisonous little mushroom called toadstool. What is also really nice about our forest trails are these stamps, which are based on the motifs on drawings made by our children. So you can see that our forest trails are really trying to embrace and are connected with children's play and imagination. And that's why also these stamps are really beautiful, because we engage children to actively participate by drawings, and we then on a base of their drawings we made stamps. To inspire and engage parents, families with young children, to go more often in nature and spend their free time in a playful and fun way, we also designed these forest little thoughts, or so-called forest ideas. It is basically a little booklet with full of ideas how to play in a forest. For example, how to make fairy stones or play a forest memory. And each idea is also accompanied with a really cute illustration. So this is the end of my presentation. I would like to thank you and give you a challenge for today. I read it on a toadstool, just to smile at someone you don't know, and maybe you will get someone in a good mood. Thank you.
Great. That's amazing, Dasha. Thank you. Well, I remember when we visited Mala Ulica as part of the study visit in one of projects, we went to do this forest trail, and it was really amazing. But I still love the one, count how many leaves are on the tree. It's
You counted all the leaves.
Yes.
Yeah. And you can draw like a snail.
Sure.
But I mean, when children meet these mushrooms in a forest, they know they are not lost, but there is also the same time the opportunity to play and have really some goofy, nice moments with parents.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Dasha. And
Thank
of
you.
course, we will make sure that this presentation will be available to you, but we also have additional information in another video that it's longer. We did it last year about those forests trails, so you will get a follow-up email with all the links. But now, without further ado, let me give the word to Rosi from Bulgaria, from Worldwide Foundation for Vulnerable Children, to share her part of story around playful parenting.
Thank you, Alyosha. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. I'm so glad that in the middle of the summer, this topic of playful parenting managed to gather us together. And we heard very interesting and moving stories from colleagues from Ukraine and Slovenia. They're really successful stories and successful practices from the ground. What I'm going to present to you is a more structured way and approach to playful parenting. This is our manual with activities called Stay at Home, Play at Home, as you can see on the screen. We created it during the pandemic of COVID-19, and we had to react very quickly because, as you know, the world suddenly stopped living and moving. But children should always play and develop. That's why we decided to put together some very easy and interesting activities for children and parents while they are locked at home. However, these activities could be used in any other circumstances that require staying at home, such as we saw from Olena, a situation of war when children are in a bomb shelter, or when children are sick at home, or in some other form of isolation, but they also be used in as everyday activities and as a way of creating opportunities for bonding between parents and children. I would like to pay tribute to my colleagues from the United States who were very quickly in responding to this need and who helped creating this manual so that it is used all over the countries where our organization works. In Bulgaria, we work with more than 30 partner organizations, and that's why it was vital for them to have something written so that they could engage the parents and give tips how to play with their children. I'm saying this because the language and the philosophy behind each activity is written for our partners or staff who have been trained in the element of play. This is our signature program for early childhood development. In the cases when children are isolated or marginalized and there is no access to them by professionals, these activities could be shared by phone or online video platform so that they're available to them at any time. Probably I have to do this, yeah. So yes, and this guide was conceived with the thought that many, if not most of the families that we work with will not have formal toys at home. Our program uses beautiful educational wooden toys, and in our early learning spaces, they are available to all the children who come there. But in times of isolation or pandemic, or in the cases where communities are quite marginalized and they don't have access to such spaces, they can use whatever resources they have at home. That's why this manual provides easy solutions to how to play with your children at home. There are different types.
Sorry to interrupt you. Sorry, can you
Yes.
press again the full screen, because we still see the second slide.
Yes, it is. Does it move now or
No,
no?
no.
Okay. Can you see it now?
So yeah, I see you now on a third slide.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
perhaps we can keep it this way. So yeah, good.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, so the activities involve the use of water, a scarf or a piece of clothing, a blanket or cover, sticks, stones, spoons, pots, whatever is in a in a regular household. Of course, if there are other resources available, other materials, parents are free to add them to the play, materials such as picture books, paper, crayons, scissors, and so on. And they could be easily incorporated in the activities suggested. A few words behind this manual. We have some fundamental pillars that this program is built upon, and one of them is the developmental milestones with its 5 foundational domains: cognitive development, communication, fine motor, gross motor, and social emotional. For children, this happens through play and is best supported when there is a safe and caring adult engaged with them. I heard beautiful words from Ivana, such as responsiveness, safety, stimulus, emotional investment. So it all stands behind this manual. We really want parents to have these qualities so that they help children to develop in these 5 domains. And the other fundamental principle behind this is the children's development in ages and stages. I didn't put a slide here, but I'm sure that you all are well aware of the developmental milestones for each and every age. Well, why invest in play? We as professionals know how important play is for children. Play is the work of the children. Moreover, play is a basic human right, which is stipulated in the United Nations Convention of the Rights of the Child. Play supports physical, emotional, cognitive, social well-being. Early forms of play provide the foundation for bonding with a parent or primary caregiver. A healthy attachment between a child and a primary caregiver can support a child's development and behavior throughout life. It is vital for children to play, because especially in situations like poverty, war, illness, trauma. It's even more important for these children to play in order to compensate for all the deficiencies that the circumstances present. Scientific research shows that children and families who are deprived of play miss opportunities to learn and grow. So this is why we invest in play, and this is why our programs are based on play. The manual, the suggested ideas in this manual aim to support the 6 C's, or the 21st century skills, which are so important to children. There's a collaboration, communication, content, critical thinking, creative innovation, and confidence. They are the pillars behind our Element of Play program, which at every stage asks itself these questions. Did I create opportunities for collaboration? Did I create opportunities for communication? Did I present or give children content? Did I encourage critical thinking? Did I encourage creative innovation? And do we have, in the end, confident children? The ideas also aim at continuing and supporting the holistic development of children in a situation of isolation, encourage positive interaction between parents and children, create opportunities for children and parents to play and have fun together, to use the resources available in the household, to encourage parents to be children's partners rather than their teachers and mentors. Children are encouraged to develop their creativity and imagination. And of course, these ideas are meant not to put more burden on the parents, but to relieve them as parents and to facilitate their communication with the children. What shall we have in mind when we start or prepare for these sessions? Before starting each activities, we should be mindful of the space and time that we have to invest in the relationship with the child. It is very important that we put aside our phones, that we are present at this activity, during this session, that we're not distracted by any thoughts or agendas, pressing agendas that we have in our everyday life. You may want to start each activity with some fun breathing activities or exercises. In the previous presentation delivered by Olena, I saw very, very interesting techniques, and breathing is very important to calm children down, to prepare them for the whole activity that is ahead of them. We also have another very practical exercise that we use during our sessions. It's called a whole body listening exercise. There is a bolster with a child sitting on the floor with eyes open, ears open, mouth closed, and brain on. And this is a way to regulate children in distress, especially during distressed times, to concentrate and to be present at the play activity. The other very important thing is to set connection, to create connection with the children. Once we have chosen our space and taken some breaths, it's good to think how to implement the power of connection. And here are some critical elements of connection, which you can read further in the cited source. The first one is eye contact. It's essential to have eye contact with each individual child so that they understand how important they are, to receive individual attention by looking them in the eyes. Of course, there are some disorders that wouldn't allow us to use eye contact, such as autistic spectrum disorders, but in this case, we could use the technique of shared focus, or both of us, the parent or the caregiver and the child, look at a ball or at another object, which is our shared focus, and again we have a form of contact.
Rossi, sorry.
Yes.
Just to jump in, we are just realizing we are running out of time slowly, so we have only 14 minutes left until the end of the meeting. So if you could give us perhaps either one concrete example or say something more that you think it's important that you would like to share with everyone, and then we can wrap it up, since I know you prepare really an amazing PowerPoint presentation with so many details so that our participants can read. So if we could, I'm sorry to be in that position, but just to wrap up your story so that we can also open question for, thank you. And sorry for interrupting you.
Yeah, okay, yes, of course, colleagues could read this. I want to stress on the way we praise children. It's very important to do this, to encourage them so that we build their confidence. Here are some examples of words and phrases, positive labels and encouraging words and phrases that could be used. And we have a number of activities of different types that could be used. They're, again, part of our manual. And each activities, for instance, the water play activity is described. There are tips what to observe and what to listen for, because we practice communication and social emotional skills and so on. So we go through the 5 domains. And here is a very, very simple way of presenting the activities that could be done with water. For instance, there are activities for older children. And in the end, there is a questionnaire with questions which could be asked before and after using the curriculum. This is more for the professionals. There are many success stories following the use of this curriculum, and our partners from small villages and places report back that while working with very disadvantaged and marginalized communities, this really helps raising the awareness of parents about the importance of play and about the importance of bonding with their children through play, which is the easiest way, of course. Okay, I won't take more of your time, but if you have any questions, you are more than welcome to ask them.
Yeah, and thank you, Rosie. I also put it in the chat. So just to mention that those of you who are planning to come to the conference and those of you who are still not decided, we deeply encourage you to register, especially now in this early bird period, so that you can get some discount. So on 22nd of October, there will be a pre-conference event that Rosie's organization will host, and it will actually focus on, as I saw it on the website, so that it's not a day without the play. So it will again dive into deeper in the element of play, the signature resource. And we also have the details on our website available. So we will everything share with you so that you can also reach out to Rosie directly in terms you are more curious about how to access the resource, how to use it, having a training, etc. So, but I think that ISSA conference will be a great opportunity to learn more about it. Thank you, Rosie.
Yes, and we have prepared very pleasant surprises for all the participants. So you are more than welcome to come and join our workshop. Thank you, Alyosha.
Excellent. So register right away. Now, any questions from the audience? So it took us longer than we planned. So we've been so careful, you know, in planning, giving 10 minutes to each speaker. But then, you know, as stories are unfolding and then I speak a lot, things are, yeah. Are there any questions?
Excuse me, I have a question.
Yeah.
About the indoor activities that Rosita explained. My question is if she has any specific activities that help, indoor activities that help bound, create a bond between the parents and their children who need more support. I mean, like challenging behavior children, because like in Romania, Bucharest, we have our parents mostly stay in apartment. They don't have big playground. So what is specific activities that help them to have a great playful parenting? Thank you.
Thank you. So Rosie, if you have a...
It's not about having special activities, but it's about how you lead the activities so that you address the challenging behavior or the other specifics of the child. And this is part of our training. And unfortunately, I cannot say it in a few words. So if the colleague would like to contact us, we could discuss it in detail.
Great. So what we can make then available definitely after the meeting, if you all the presenters agree, so that we also provide your emails to which our members can contact you so that you can have bilateral conversations, or in case we figure out we would need a specific, let's say, online learning exchange to make a deep dive on certain topics, we can definitely think of something like this in the autumn as well.
Okay.
Are there any other questions? Reflections? Since no, then we have an exercise for you. No. Well, you can also use the chat, but since, yeah, we are really running out of time, 7 minutes. So in case we go a bit beyond, those who can stay, we would very much appreciate, but we'll try to hurry up now. So I'm very grateful. And here in the ISSA office in Leiden, we're also very grateful for all the members and the partners from Serbia who presented, and I think it's just a beginning of our conversation that can continue over emails, also at the ISSA conference, and also to some new upcoming opportunities that you will also be informed later this year. But let me now just share the right screen. So you will again go to Mentimeter, and I ask Francesca to share the link, and I'll put the presenting mode. So now we would like to learn from you as members. How much are you engaged in the topic of playful parenting at your work? So now you can vote. Be that not engaged, really engaged, rarely engaged somehow, or somewhat engaged, often engaged, or fully engaged. So that we see what is the proportion of the concept of playful parenting and play in general as well. How many times it pops up on our work agenda or our focus. Okay, we do have some fully engaged people. I'm not sharing. Oh, thank you. You see, I'm so sorry. Now I'm sharing. Okay, so how much are you engaged in the topic of playful parenting at your work? So we have some somewhat engaged, fully engaged. We have few people. We have some people that are rarely engaged. A good thing is that we don't have yet anyone who is not engaged at all, which is very good. Great. Okay. And I'll go to the next slide. So, okay, we have 4-4-4. It's a draw between somewhat engaged and fully engaged. Good. Great. So I'll go to the next slide. So you keep staying in the Mentimeter. So the next question is, would you be interested in forming a thematic group within our network that focuses on playful parenting and parental support? And now it's very straightforward. Yes, of course, not sure yet, which means that you would still need to discuss either with your colleagues in your organization, etc., or no. Okay. Good. So we have majority saying yes, of course. So it seems it is a topic of interest. Some are still not sure yet, but we will convince you for sure. Joking. Great. Okay, so we have 7. Great. Okay, you can also, those who are not using Mentimeter, you can also use the chat to put your feedback, but we'll also include it in the follow-up communication, so you'll still be able to provide your input. And then we have another question. Are you implementing any programs focusing on and promoting playful parenting? So that the play is somehow playing a role in the programs or initiatives that you are carrying out. Okay, so we have yes. Okay. Good. Nice. Okay. So we have 7 of you say yes, 3 of you say no. Good. Okay, now we have 8 yes. Perfect. And we have reached the end of this presentation. Well, thank you for this input. So yeah, well, what I prepared for the last part was actually that we could open up a bit the space and engage more into discussions, but apparently 1.5 hours for we were too ambitious to squeeze everything in, which is a good lesson learned. But I think we are all happy that we managed to set up this meeting before the summer, so that we in a way don't forget about how crucial play is in everything what we do in early childhood field, and that it's a driving force that we should be strong advocates for in whatever we do, be that with parents, with professionals, with children, with those who train teachers and educators, and so on and so forth. So the coming fall is fully packed for you members. So there will be a lot going on. We will be offering you a lot of learning opportunities, sharing webinars, conference, pre-conference, post-conference, webinars, study visits, you name it. So soon you will be able to see all those things taking shape on the website or on the calendar, also on the mailing lists. So keep an eye also on September 26th, when we are planning to organize an online thematic workshop that will focus specifically on playful parenting. So we are trying to innovate and pilot a new online format. Fingers crossed that we succeed. So we might reach out to some of you to support us in this. So, but yeah, we are very much looking forward to it. At this point, I'm thanking all of you for your time and that you managed to connect, share with us, provide input. And as Francesca shared, if you have any resource that you would like to be added to the Knowledge Hub of ISSA's website, feel free to use this link here. We created a easy, user-friendly form where you can easily submit your resources, and you can contact me or my colleague Francesca. And I just realized that I didn't present myself or introduce myself at the very beginning, none of my colleagues, but I guess that, yeah, we know each other pretty well. If not, I invite you to the rebranded or reshaped ISSA websites. Here and there, we still have some glitches. Explore how it looks now. We a bit replaced things, repackaged things, and there you can also read. You will find my photo, Michaela's photo, Henriette's photo, Francesca's photo, Vanessa's photo, and you can read description below the photo. On that note, thank you, everyone. We'll be in touch and we'll share with you a follow-up email. Have a good summer and stay cool. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye-bye.